Island Life-Saving Station in Kittery is close to looking as good as it did a century ago.
Time when sailors could count on the station to save them during storms and shipwrecks. Rob Nesbitt joins us with more on how residents are the reason for the restoration instead of the demolition.
Yeah, restoring it isn't cheap. Rob and Amanda, they spent $1.2 million already on this project on Wood Island, and they still have another 2 years left of the project, so they've got a lot of work to do, and it's going to be expensive. There's no need for a life-saving station today with modern navigation and radio communication on boats, but the history that exists on Wood Island before that technology is a rich one, and it's being preserved thanks to a caring community.
Wow.
At the mouth of the Piscataqua River, looking out towards the ocean, sits Wood Island, home of the life-saving station built in 1908 to respond to boats in distress and at the mercy of the ocean's fury.
2 boats were here, one there.
Surfmen would brave storms, darkness, and giant waves in search of mariners somewhere beyond the shore.
There were 8 men here and a keeper. So before the U.S. Coast Guard, there was something called the U.S. Life-Saving Service, and its same function, rescuing mariners in distress. And men would go out in rowboats.
Records show that around 300 people were saved by the surfmen living on Wood Island.
Folks are making rescues in the winter in a storm on a rowboat. So it's a pretty extraordinary thing.
With advances in navigation and communication, the use of the station became obsolete, and over time, it was the building that needed saving.
You can see the beams and posts.
Asbestos, lead paint, and bird guano led the town of Kittery, which acquired the building in 1973, to start talking about the idea of demolition.
It was sad. I mean, it was covered in vines. It was the roof deteriorating. It was very sad.
Sam joined forces with other concerned Kittery residents to form the Wood Island Life-Saving Station Association.
You put trim around this window.
To restore the station back to its original look. It's taken years to decide what's salvageable and replace what's beyond repair.
That's an original beam, that's a new beam. Last year was the cleanup and the structural work. And this year is finishing the exterior. So last year we had, 15 men working on the cleanup.
Their work hasn't gone unnoticed by local fishermen like Kenneth Lamont, who has been passing Wood Island on the boat ride to his lobster traps for 42 years.
A couple of people with an incredible vision that have looked at this building and realized that something needed to be done. It's a treasure for the harbor. It's something that you can go by and look at with great pride once it's completed and finished.
This room is where the men ate. This was the dining.
Sam is hoping that restoration of the building and grounds will be completed by the spring of 2019, and then it will be time to reuse Wood Island.
Super strong. It's sort of like a car windshield, really.
A maritime museum where visitors will get the chance to come learn about the history of the life-saving station.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year, men waiting and watching just to be sure that there's nothing wrong, no emergency.
Standing where the heroes stood and looking out over the same ocean skyline where surfmen risked their own lives to save others.
Wow. What a view, huh?
The total cost of the restoration project on Wood Island is around $2.5 million. A big part of that will be used to restore the seawalls on each side of the building that have been destroyed by crashing waves and the elements. And they also want to build a dock there so that those visitors or tourists going to see what they've done will have a safe place to get off of the boat and check it out. Beautiful.